Okay, welcome back to Riven. So, we found the underwater tramway last time around, but we also found that we can't get up to this platform here that we closed from the observation tower above. So we're going to move on. I'm going to go back down in. And we're going to move on to the next stop on the underwater railway. So off we go. We haven't really explored where these destinations are and where they go. So I'm winging it a little bit here. We're going to go to the left on this one. And it'll stop at each of these junction points to give you the ability to turn around and choose which route you want to take. I mentioned it before, you can actually get Riven and Miss both for the iPad or your iPhone, and it's really worth getting because they run it really well. And whilst the graphics might be kind of old like this, you know, they run fantastically, and it's a great one to play when you're out and about and on the way. Right, let's see where we are, because I actually can't remember the railway layout or anything like that. Let's see where we are. Ah. Well, we're at another place where we can't get up. And we can see that's the docking area over there. So we need to figure out how we can get out of these things. But it seems that right now we can't do that. Now you see when you click it there, we've got nowhere further to go. So we're going to have to turn around, which I'm in the process of doing. Make our way back. Now you remember before we came down the path and went off to the left. So now we're going to move down here. And we're going to go off to the right here. Let's see where this one takes us. Oh crap. I'm turning us around, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to choose the right selection. So let's turn around again. I just had in my head that we wanted to go to the right, so I was turning the... This is what we want to move. And that will allow us to move to the right hand side. And we can now have another little look and see where we are. And I think this is another junction point where we can't actually move on. And now you see there is actually an extended ladder and we can get out. Now, the platform is to our right, and you can see we're on the opposite side of the village here, so this is a different place. And we have a ladder leading up. Let's go up here. And we seem to be in a little office. And we can see as well that there's a little platform up there. And here we go. We can see down here that the platform itself is closed. And this is where we are right now. We can see there's actually a building structure. This was where we went to before, where we could not get out, because you can see the rail path comes down this way and it moves across to the left hand side as well. So there isn't really much more to do on the rail path. It takes us from here. There's also an exit over here, and it'll bring us around to the platform here, because these are the areas where you can see we've got those pools where you can get out. But in order to get to that station there, we're going to need to extend the ladder. We also need to extend the ladder on the platform. And if we look over here, we can see it's pretty obvious that these are for extending and retracting. Now we've got 3 down and 2 up. And seeing as we have, I believe, we can't get out here, and I don't think we can get out here. I think we have 2 main points at the moment. So I think it would suggest, I hope, that the ones that are up are turned on. Also, the little notes on the right hand side, the bottom is withdrawn and the top is extended. So I think if we extend these like this, and then we go check, we can see over here on the platform at least that it's now been extended. And that's going to open up a couple of quite important areas for us. So we'll turn around and go back when I can get down here. So the first place we're going to want to go back to is the first little exit station we were at before we go to the platform, that is. And we do actually need to turn around. And we'll be on our way. I do like the graphics. It's quite clever, the way it all moves and gives you the sensation of being underwater, and then moves into these kind of more flowing sessions. It's so important to remember that this game, when it came out, you know, it's a PlayStation 1 game, and even before that as well for the PC. These graphics at the time were very, very good. And if you look at the kind of colour variation in the copper and the metals here, you know, it really is quite impressive. And for a game at the time, this was so immersive, you know. This kind of gave you the feeling that Skyrim would give you now, you know. You're just looking at it going, this is amazing, and being totally immersed within the game itself. It's such a good feeling to have that from games. And I don't think they lose it. I think this game still is really, really fantastic. I really would advise people to have a go with it and see how you get on. Okay, now we're at this next station. Let's have a look-see. And we have a small kind of building. Again, I love these kind of, the way the buildings are made. Some sort of bricks in here and then plastered on the outside. I love the texture and the colours. And we have what appears to be basically a schoolhouse. We have the little bench desks and blackboards here. And we have a lot of symbols around the outside. These are basically Rivenese symbols for, I believe, the alphabet. And if you were very dedicated, you could be writing all of those symbols down. So let's have another look and see what else is around. Some what seems to be like star fruit and some writing. little puzzle over there. We'll have a look at that in a sec. There's some writing on the board here. And again, if we had the time, you could decipher this. Another little puzzle thing here. And this is obviously a smaller version. Yep, so as I was saying, this is obviously Gen's kind of smaller variation of his little speech-making tools, his way of influencing his power to the Rivenese people. And you can see that whilst Gen is obviously able to give himself whatever he wants, the Rivenese people, they're really struggling. The blackboard's all broken here, they can't repair it. He's abusing his power as he always does. So let's take a little look at the puzzle here. And this is actually a really important puzzle. And you'll notice that on the bottom here is a symbol. And these symbols, you remember, are on the spheres, the balls that are located around with the animal symbols that we've been finding out on. So if we pull this little thing here, and you'll see that the figure dropped down a certain amount of times. Now, I'm going to need to actually record these as we go along, because it's pretty important that you write these down. And as I've been creating my little journal to go through, we need to do this as well. So that first symbol was 1. Now he dropped down there 6 times. And we click it again. And he dropped down 4 times there. Again. And this little game is a fairly macabre little game. 2, 3, 4, and you'll notice it kind of resembles the platform outside. This is actually an execution platform, and this game helps to remind the children that Gen is in control. 2, 3, 4 again. What we really need to do is record and figure out all of the numbers, because that's going to be important. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is the 10th symbol. It's going to be important for us because we need to know the order of those spheres and the animal symbols for them as well. That's 5 again. I think I got that first symbol wrong. I think that was 5, not 6. That obviously was not 1, but he was on his last life, so we don't know what that symbol was yet. Okay, we'll have to play it again. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Now that was 9. Now the interesting thing about that is if you look at the symbol of 9, it's actually 5 and 4 combined. So therefore it stands to reason that some of the other symbols may have this kind of rule running throughout. Now that symbol was 3. So it stands to reason that the 8 could be a combination of 5 and 3 if they're running on a system that uses only 5 main numeric symbols. So back with 4 again. We only have 3 left to figure out. But we do need the 2 symbol. We haven't seen the 2 symbol yet, and that is important. We could figure out the 6 and the 8 for ourselves. As with all things in Riven, nothing is done in a rush. It's all just a matter of time. They're definitely not wanting to give us those other symbols though. Here we go. Now that, I believe, was the actual 6th symbol, and that's because that is 5 with a vertical line, which is the 1. So that will be our 6. So we just need 8 and 2. This is our 9. You can see now as well why Riven is a game that can take a long time and you need a little bit of patience to play it. This is back with 9 again. Now, that was our 8 symbol, and that's interestingly 5 and 3. However, we do need our number 2. We really need to get number 2. And that last symbol there is the symbol we haven't seen so far, and very, very luckily for us, that is number 2. So we now have all the symbols of the numbers, which is going to be a very useful, important tool for us. So onward we go. And this is going to be a good place for me to stop right now, having just got the last number. So on the next one, we'll go over and we'll have a look at the platform and see if there's anything we can do over there.